Me again, and in this video I'm going to just basically give you an overview regarding your training now for the first week or so. So basically you've got your TrueCoach app, you've looked at some of the exercises and you're raring to go. Now the thing what I would say to you is use week one as a guideline just to get into the gym and to get an idea of doing the exercises that is on your plan. Okay, so don't worry too much about hitting the right weights in week one. This is all about just getting used to the program, getting used to the app, and actually tracking your numbers. And that's the first thing I'm going to say. Make sure that you're tracking the weights you've lifted or the reps you've done every single week. Now, a lot of people out there exercise, okay? And I just want to very quickly explain the difference between exercising and training. You're training towards a specific goal to get in better shape, and I'm your coach helping you with your training. So I've designed this plan for you to ensure that you're getting stronger, you're building muscle, and we're getting leaner. Now, if somebody who exercises goes into the gym, they have a plan, they do the plan, but they don't track anything and basically do the same thing week after week. The same exercise, the same weights, the same reps, and their body doesn't adapt. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again, your body just has no stimulus to change. So it's really important that we are tracking and measuring and trying to improve. It's like anything you do in life. If you don't know what you're doing with it or you don't know what your results are, how can you improve? So in your app, there's a section where you can actually write down the reps, the weight after every exercise on every single day that you are doing exercise. So make sure week one, you just get used to the app, writing things down and so on. Now, by all means, you can go old school and you can just get a pen and paper like I do myself and just write down the day of the week, the exercise and what you've lifted. And the next time you do that exercise for those reps, you will know if you've improved, if you've got stronger or not. And if we haven't and we're plateauing, then you let me know and we can maybe look at trying to improve that. So that's the first thing I would say regards week one. Now, a common question people have is, Kieran, I'm not too sure where to start. How do I know if I'm lifting the right amount of weight? And it's a very good question. And to combat that question, I tell them to think about a scale of 1 to 10. So this scale is called our RPE, or rate of perceived exertion. This is a scale that kind of determines how hard we've actually worked. 10 being really difficult, I could not do any more. 1 being too easy, the easiest as possible. I basically did nothing. We want to be aiming to be hitting 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10 in every single one of our sessions. We're not going to the limit because the limit is actually quite dangerous. You could actually injure yourself. When I say the limit, if you have a set of 10, for example, and you've got 9, and the 10th you've just pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed, and you really struggle to get that last one, that's maybe a bit too heavy. You might want to drop the weight slightly because we don't want to lead to any injuries. We want our training to be progressive, but we want to be making sure we don't get injured, because if you get injured, you can't do anything. So we want to be aiming for an 8 out of 10 or 9 out of 10. If you're doing a 6 or 7 or a 5, it means you're not training hard enough. Now, if that's the case, and you felt that, oh, I could definitely have done a bit more in that set, there are different ways we can progress. Now, one way is the obvious way, I suppose, of increasing the weight, but making sure we're using good form all the time. Watch the videos, read through my coaching cues on each exercise to make sure that you know what you're doing. If you're still unsure, either you can drop me a message or go on YouTube, go on bodybuilding.com. These websites have loads of different instruction on how to do these exercises. So increasing the weight is one way. I would suggest increasing by 2.5 kilograms each week if possible. The second way that you can progress is basically by doing a couple of extra reps. So if you felt, right, I can probably do maybe 3 or 4 more reps here, try and smash them out, okay? Just do those extra reps and maybe the next time you can increase the weight. Another way to progress is to slow down the tempo. So instead of going for 1 second down and 1 second back up again, you're going to take maybe 3, 2, 1, pause, and 2 seconds back up. You're just going to slow the movement. What that does is it actually puts more resistance on the muscle. That's what we want to do. We want to tear muscle fibers down. We want to tear the muscle down. And by slowing and keeping more tension in the muscle, that's what we're going to do. So that's another way that you can actually progress. So just a very quick reminder, on TrueCoach, I've got videos for every movement. I've got coaching cues, so make sure that you watch them and read them either while you're in the gym or even before you go to the gym, even to have extra preparation. If you have any issues regarding anything, please let me know. So I've talked about the importance of tracking. I've talked about the importance of progressing. Make sure you look at your reps. Now, your reps may change from week to week, okay? So make sure you know that if it says week 1, exercise 1, you're doing 15 reps, maybe week 2 could be 12 reps. So make sure you're looking at the rep numbers, because that rep range is put in specifically so that you are adapting, that you are progressing. So for example, the lower, the reps, the heavier the weight. So for example, you will be able to lift a movement for 8 reps, you would do a lot heavier weight compared to doing that same movement for 15 reps. So make sure you're lifting the correct weight for that particular rep range. Regards rest times, we're going to be resting no less than a minute. Okay, so between a minute and 2 minutes, but normally we aim for around 90 seconds between exercises. Now that's really important because when you exercise, blood goes to the muscle. Blood and other elements are put to the muscle. And when we're resting, we need the blood to come out so the muscle can recover. If we go into the exercise too early, without enough rest time, we will not be able to perform optimally in that next set. So it's really important to build in proper rest times. Invest in a watch. If there's a clock in the gym, keep an eye on it. But I know a lot of people there get kind of complacent and they just get a bit agitated and they just want to jump straight into the next set. Make sure that if for example, if you can go from one set and into the next set with 30 seconds rest and complete the same amount of reps, it means the weight's not heavy enough. You need to be lifting heavy weight, or you need to be doing the movement slower, because you should need at least 1 minute up to 2 minutes of recovery between every single set. So make sure you're getting your rest times correctly, make sure you're getting your tempo correct. But again, if there's any questions, please just let me know. That's what I'm here for. So that is basically an overview of your rate per exertion, what you need to do in week 1, watching the videos, progressing, tracking, and all else in between. Make sure you're well hydrated during the gym session. If you have eaten, make sure you're probably eating maybe 2 hours prior, 1 hour prior at least, depending on, again, it depends on person to person. If you're training first thing in the morning, again, that depends on you. I would suggest having at least some caffeine just to get you in the zone, get you focused, and so on and so forth. So they're just some top tips in relation to training. But we want to be progressing, we want to be tracking, and we want to be getting stronger and leaner every single week. So enjoy the workouts. If you have any questions, let me know, and I look forward to seeing your first check-in.